Hello and welcome to the Quantum Success Show, where you can get your information and inspiration to create your desires. And I have a friend with me today. Dr. Joy Martina is a psychic psychologist and a channeler of Christallin Consciousness, and she's specialized in the training intuitive intelligence in business owners. She's a best-selling author, the creator of the Christallin Oracle Training, which is a training to develop mastery over our innate psychic abilities, and a master hypnotist, and trainer of trainers. She is also the author of the 5 Steps to Strengthen Your Intuition. She is a dear friend of mine. I am so excited to have you on the show. Dr. Joy Martina, how are you?
Hi, Christy. I'm really well. And I'm so enthusiastic about being here and sharing this time with you.
Oh, I just love you. It was so funny. We met at the Grammys, and that was like such an amazing experience to be able to go to the Grammys. And I've shared that with my community before of how I manifested that, experience. And then we kept seeing each other for different events, and we got to be a little group of women that were just amazing women, and just really connected at such a deeper level. And I was just telling you, like the weekend before that, I was watching The Sound of Music, and I was like, oh, just telling my husband, Frederick, I have to go to Austria. I want to go to Salzburg. I want to go to Austria. And then that week, Alex came home and had a project due for school, and they were doing reports on Europe, and he chose Austria. And so then obviously the next weekend I meet you, and you're from Salzburg, and we connect and on a deeper level. And I just love you. I just love you. So
Well, that is so mutual, Christy. And I do have very, very special memories connected to Salzburg because I spent 30 years there. So I was born in England and then raised in Salzburg, the city of Mozart, the city of such beauty and tradition, that I feel what I'm doing now is really based on that strong foundation that I learned in Salzburg before I moved to the States. So it's that tradition and the values that I learned there that have taken me now to be able to tap into this incredible power of the intuition. And I just love spreading that message of sharing how easy it is to actually strengthen that intuition and to be tapped into that highest form of intelligence.
absolutely. Well, one of the principles that I wanted to talk to you about today is embody. Is like really embody who you are as a divine being. So I'd love for you to share some practices or some of the things that you work with clients on where it comes to embody.
I'd love that. So what I've seen, what it takes for us to actually get into our bodies, that sounds so weird, but sometimes we realize that, well, I don't know, driving a car or walking somewhere, and then suddenly we say, oh, where was I going? Because something else took over. So that something else that's running our body most of the time is an unconscious part of us. So our unconscious mind is running all these amazing procedures in our body, and we're not aware of it. So what does it take to be even aware of what's going on inside of our body? Now, that's something that I've really explored in the program Sleep Your Fat Away, that is all about tuning into your body's wisdom of really hearing your body again. So I think the first step we all need to take is to be able to step out of this buzz that we have going on the whole time and learn how to tune into ourselves. Now, I know we hear and read this so often about, go meditate, go take a break. I don't think it has to be that complicated. What it needs is that we can detach from that emotional state we're often in. So if we watch ourselves throughout the day and just notice, when do I freak out? When do I start getting stressed out? When do I get triggered? When does something start affecting me? When do I just not feel good anymore? And if we were to just notice those moments and then make this one choice, and that is to step out of the drama.
Oh my God, thank you.
I'm admitted a drama queen myself. I admit it because I'm human and I love emotions and I am passionate. So I have to watch that myself to really take care of my own state and realize there's nobody out there doing anything to me. I'm doing this. So the number one tool I actually teach all my clients and also all my kids, whether they're 3 or 30, I don't have 30, I have 30-year-old stepkids, but not kids yet. Anyway, is this tool, and it's called the switch. And you can use the switch anytime you feel stressed out, anytime you feel emotional, anytime you realize, I need a break. Okay, here goes. All you need to do is you take one hand and make it flat, and the other one gets a fist. And you kind of do this karate chop. So you alternate this fist pumping in your palms of your hands. Now, while you're doing that, you are activating all the energy systems in your body. You are creating a pattern interrupt, which is a powerful tool to use in any habit breaking or any retraining of the brain. We have to first become aware of what are we doing, then say, oh, I have a choice. Take 3 is take an action. And when I do this switching, I'm also synchronizing the left and the right brain hemispheres. Now, we know when we come from a whole brain, we're just wiser and smarter. And we're not in this overload, but we can actually take a breath. We can connect to our bodies. We can become aware of who we actually are. So doing this switch is one thing. Then the next thing that I love teaching is to do an incantation. Now, this is different from an affirmation, because an affirmation would be something like to say, I am a happy, joyful being. Well, that doesn't work for me when I'm freaking out. I cannot say that enough to feel different, right? So
you're like, bullshit.
No, you're not.
You're lying.
I know that we as humans need that embodiment. We need an action we can take. So doing this switch and saying something to yourself while you're doing it in form of an incantation is really powerful, because here's what happens in our brain. Our brain can only focus on so little consciously. So doing this can already be a challenge for some, right? And that's already interesting. But when we do this and we say something, we're going right into our unconscious mind. So we're commanding our mind what to do. And I think we need to do that more often, because we've become slaves of our mind and not those real divine beings that we are. So here's what you say to yourself. Do you want to hear it?
Yes.
Cool. You start pumping your fist, you do the switch, and you say, I love and accept myself, even if I feel really bad right now. That's a huge thing to say. And then you say, and I love and accept myself when I now choose to feel good again and to step into my power. So what you do with this incantation is you're creating peace within yourself, because you're acknowledging what's going on. You're not suppressing your emotions. You're not stuffing them anywhere, but you're saying, I love and accept myself, even if I feel like, this right now. And I love and accept myself when I now choose to step into my power, when I now choose to feel good again. That's a really powerful thing to say to yourself, because when we say I choose, I am realizing that I'm the creator or the creatrix of my life. I'm taking ownership. And I think that is a huge switch that we can take any moment of our lives. As I said, I teach this to 3-year-olds in preschool when they start freaking out or they're feeling, I don't know, bad. And it gives them their power that they can do something about it. And yeah, I love sharing those kinds of brain hacks.
I love it. And when you say I choose, that's when your moment you get out of the drama. Because like being in the drama is like, I can't ever get out of this. No matter what I do, oh, he's doing this to me. You know, there's always that theatrical, thing that we have in our heads. But when you say, I choose this, I choose to feel this way, I choose to think this way, I choose this perspective, I choose to believe this, you're out of the drama triangle. You're out of it. You're out of it.
Yeah, exactly. And you're focusing on what you actually want. Because we know if we focus on what's not right in our life, we will create more of that, because we will literally start honing in on all the faults. I used to be like that. I have such an observing mind and an eye for beauty, and I have high standards that I would go through my life and seeing what's not perfect yet. And that is the quickest way to a burnout, because you'll find tons of stuff that's not perfect yet, right? Just open the newspaper and you'll find stuff to get mad about. So I think a lot about what we're all going through right now is to be somehow learn to be at peace with what's going on in this world, and to realize I can do something about it. And the thing I can do about it is to manage my own state and to make sure that I'm coming from the best place, even if others aren't.
And to embody how you do want to feel and what you do want to live into. I mean, it's all vibration. You're just such a sister to me. It's amazing. Because my very first book was Perfect Pictures. It was all about how everything could be perfect and I would focus on the one thing. And when you focus on the one thing, nothing can ever be perfect, because you can't ever appreciate what is. You're just like, how can I fix it? So it's not a fun way to live.
No. So here's a great brain hack I learned that we can all use when we find ourselves honing in on what does not work.
Perfect.
And that is to ask ourselves an empowering question. Because as I said, you might have got the idea that I love researching the human mind. And what I've realized is that our conscious mind, so that little part of our brain, always wants to know the how of stuff. So like when I say, okay, I want to manifest, I know, 3 weeks vacation in India, my mind will say, so how are you going to do that? Right. So we can get stuck in that how cycle rather than tapping out and into that higher universe or that higher intelligence that would actually give us the how. So when we ask an empowering question, we are triggering a process in our brain where our brain has to come up with answers. And that's what it's good for. So what I love asking myself in moments of stress is, how am I the luckiest person right now? Or how is this a blessing right now? Or how is what is occurring in my life the best thing ever? And my focus will immediately shift. The next question I ask myself when I, for instance, don't know what to do right now. So when I'm setting priorities, or when I'm kind of in a decision-making process and there are too many options, I ask myself this simple question: what is the most loving thing I can do for myself right now? And I know some will now say, oh my God, this is going to be like the revolution of narcissists. They're just focused on themselves. Bear with me. It's not so, because I've realized when we first take care of ourselves by just making sure we're in a good state, our basic needs have been met, we're such nicer people.
Oh, totally.
And we're so much more willing and open to share that and to care for others. I don't buy into this concept that all humans are evil. I just don't.
Yeah.
I know that we all have this amazing core and source in us that is loving and kind and compassionate. We're just often screwed up. And that screwed upness is fixable. I also don't assign to theories of saying that people are not fixable. You're kind of too messed up to ever get well. That's not true. It's all just in the mind. We have a lot of traumas, maybe we have past experiences that formed us in a way that we no longer conceive that we're much greater than we are. And
amen, sister.
Everything that I think we all do is say, come on, we do have a choice. There's stuff you can do, and it's not rocket science.
No, it's just feel good. I mean, that divine in us is just always in a place of feeling good. And we're the ones that are either aligned with that feel good or not. And if we're in the not, we know that it's something that's very personality driven. That's fine. We all need our personalities. I hate when people say, oh, it's the ego and kill the ego. We have to have our ego. We all are different. We all have our different personalities, right? But it's like having that, knowing that when you look at another person and they're maybe driving crazy and they're cutting you off, or someone snaps in a way that's hurtful, or they're doing drama in their own life. If you can also see them as a divine being, it makes it so much easier to have empathy and compassion and to understand that we're all human. None of us are perfect here. We're all human. And yet each one of us are perfect because we have that divine in us that has the potential to guide us, to lead us if we allow it. If we don't allow it and we take the personality and the personality thinks it's in charge and nope, I'm going to go this way and I'm going to do what I want. A lot of us live our lives that way. I know I did. And it's like beating my head up against a wall.
It is painful. And what I think ties into that is that when we're stuck in that kind of state, we will take everything personal, won't we?
Everything.
I remember someone would just have to raise their eyebrow at me and I would feel immensely insecure, if not rejected. And oh my God, it's all about me. So I would make everything mean that I was not okay. Yes. But then when I realized, wow, the only one who can change something here is me, it really is a life switch that just opens up possibility and success and that feeling of being connected to your true self, because you're no longer saying yes to everything just to please everyone. You're learning to say no gracefully. You're learning to own your desires and tap into that intuition, which I feel is one-to-one with happiness. We cannot be happy in life if we're not tuned into our true selves. And I believe our true selves is that intuitive intelligence. That's who we really are.
Agreed. I love it. So back to this selfish thing, because I think that's a big one, especially for women. But just think of yourself when you don't get a good night's sleep. I know for
Mhm.
at least for me, I'm a sleeper. I have to get a good night's sleep. And 2 nights ago, I had one glass of wine, and I was up for 3 hours. I just can't seem to drink wine anymore. I don't know what it is, and I love it, but I can't unless I want to not sleep. So the next day, yesterday morning, I was dragging, and I found myself to not be as patient and to be a little bit more snippy. And this morning, I got a great night's sleep last night. I'm more patient. I'm more understanding. I could tell within myself. So just even sleep. And then you take that with what we put in our bodies. I mean, it's good to have a little sugary thing, but to have sugar all day long or to be drinking caffeine all day long or, no judgment on any of those things. But if it feels good in your body, do it. But if you notice that you're not feeling good in whatever you're eating or what you're putting in your body or if you're working out or not, if you're exercising, we have to take care of these earth suits, as Cynthia Pasquella calls them, right? So when we're taking care of ourselves, that's a healthy selfish. And it also means taking care of ourselves emotionally. It takes just a couple minutes just to align yourself. And like you're saying, Joy, take that time to ask yourself a different set of questions, right? Take your time to do this thing and say, even though, like, if you're in a bad mood, it's like the hand jive.
Also, here's an added benefit to the switch. You also burn calories because you'll notice if you do this for a while, you'll get some heat up in your body. It really gives you that boost and blast of energy, like an espresso, but healthier. So I really advise you to do this as often as you can, just to recharge and as you say, re-ask those questions inside of your mind and remind yourself who you are. And you were saying something beautiful about that when we don't sleep enough and when we feel, I don't know, depleted of energy, we can get emotional pretty quickly, right? I know that for myself. It doesn't take much then to send me off into a, and I've noticed that not only in my clients and in the big workshops that we teach, but also in society, we seem to have a very thin veneer nowadays. And it doesn't take much for people just to lose their patience and to lose their temper. So I think tools like this are so invaluable to teach because they, as I say, give us the power back. But here's the second one. I feel we need to own that anger that we all have. Because I noticed when I moved to the US from Europe, how much I enjoyed how nice people are here. Really. And Europe is beautiful and I adore living there. But on a whole, I would say, especially German-speaking countries can be pretty grumpy and, fly off the handle quickly and be kind of a different kind of nice, right? And then I noticed in the US, everybody's so pleasant, in shops and service is great. It's a different attitude. And I noticed, wow, but the anger is still there. It's just hidden sometimes under this kind of consciousness that we have to please. So we all become these sheeple of pleases, but actually we get really frustrated. So I know from myself when I am just pleasing to keep peace, when I'm pleasing to get something out of it, when I'm pleasing to, I don't know, just not have to confront something.
Yes.
I will, if I do that consistently, I will start feeling real frustration in me because I will expect something from the other, like appreciation or admiration or acceptance or love and all those good things. And if I'm not getting it from there, I can turn really angry. And that kind of cycle is something we just need to know that we all do. So I can't tell you how often I've heard, especially women, tell me, I'm not angry. I'm not angry. But that son of a bitch, if he ever, I say, really? Not angry? Right? And anger has I think we're so scared of anger because we're seeing how anger can turn into violence so quickly. So we've kind of pushed it away. And I say, let's not do that. Let's see anger as a normal human emotion. Realize that when we feel anger, we can do something about it. So I'd like to share one little tip. It's my final one. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
And that comes from EFT, so the technique of emotional freedom. My husband, Dr. Joy Martina, developed emotional balance out of it, so it's kind of different. And we tap our liver. So you go underneath your right rib cage. It's a big organ, the liver. It's one of the biggest detox organs. And you start tapping the liver and you breathe. So also with the switch, you want to breathe because there are only so many ways that the body can release. And breath is such a great one to do. So while you tap your liver, you take deep breaths and you again say the magic sentence of, I love and accept myself. I love and accept myself, even if I feel real mad right now, or even if I feel this anger inside of me. And you breathe, and then you say, and I love and accept myself when I now choose to release this anger and step into my peace. And then just notice what happens inside of your body when you speak that incantation, and you're causing physical vibration in your liver, which strengthens your liver. It helps it let go of the toxins. And yeah, maybe you'd like to share, if one of the listeners here, share what it does for you. I've seen miracles happen with these simple techniques that it just inspires me.
Amazing, amazing. Okay, so if you're watching and you just did that, let us know what you, under the comments, let us know what you are feeling. If you're even noticing a difference in how you felt before. So just notice and type that in. But Joy, you're amazing. Thank you so much for all your wisdom, all your love, the power that you just, that just goddess power that you resonate out. And you give so many other women such permission to be able to do that too, just by your presence and being truly authentic in who you are. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Christy. It was such a joy. All have a beautiful day or night wherever you are.
Yes, absolutely. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you're taking away. It was filled with just a lot of beautiful nuggets. If you just gobble them up and digest them, your life will change. I promise you. So have an amazing week. Bye, everybody.